Morning guys, it's Sunday and I'm just up here sitting underneath my tree. This is really nice cypress tree here that I sit under and I watch it go through all the different seasons. It's the tree I speak about often, when I'm out on my runs or my walks, I come back to this tree, and as I'm starting to walk past it, I just come underneath it just for a few minutes. Sometimes I don't, sometimes I just brush past it. I put my hand out and I'll say good morning. But when I get underneath here and I look out and over like the pond here and the fountain and that, gives you a sense of peace, quiet, a little bit of tranquility, a little bit of tuning into Mother Nature and the sounds and what is. And I came out today because I don't know. I hurt my back yesterday. I've got a bad back anyway because I think it was about 5 years ago. I bulged a disc at L5, right in the bottom, and I always say I've never felt pain like that after I've had some kind of injury, and it always seems to step up a notch. And that was some crazy pain that I went through there. My leg went. The only way I could ease it a bit is by laying down. And then I went and saw a chiropractor. I'm seeing him tomorrow to get adjusted again. Been seeing him on the weekly again here for a little bit because my neck was playing up, so I wanted to get that done. But then my lower back's messing around, and I went to yoga yesterday, and love yoga, Kundalini yoga, absolutely love it. And but I have a tendency to push myself that little bit too much sometimes. I get so much into it, and I just think, and I'll push that a little bit more. Anyway, we did a sciatic stretch yesterday on both sides, and even though it's an amazing thing, and there's no doubt it did nothing but good. Stretching out the sciatic nerve and then tuning in, it raises your endorphins because you squeeze a pressure point on your toe, and brilliant. I mean, I love doing it, but yeah. Instead of bending my knee, I try and stretch out a bit too much sometimes, I think, and not listening. And even the teacher even said, Marie, God bless her, she even said right at the beginning, and I kind of remembered after, if you can't get your body there just by thinking it, you're doing it, which is true. If you put your mind, wherever you put your mind is where you're going to go. But anyway, I remember my chiropractor saying last time I really did my back in, he was like, go walking and that, if you can, which I figured, what, the right moment came up, because I had just had this discussion with my wife, and it's come up a few times with me too, to where it's something to look at and be aware of. So I thought I'd put it out there to you guys too, just so you can be aware of these things. And she loves gardening, my wife, loves doing her garden. And we got all kinds of things growing, especially a lot of herbs. I wanted to get a herb garden growing, use it for medicine, plus food. It started out as food. Then I started looking at the benefits of all the different things, and I use it for that now, even aloe plants. We grow aloe plants, and I use them too. If ever I take a piece, I always give thanks to the plant, guys. Yeah, Mother Nature's giving you something to use. So I always give thanks, and then to the aloe plant, and that's got me out of trouble a few times too, different things, and my family. But anyway, we grow all these different things, and my wife's got pineapples growing, and she was out front weeding yesterday. She says it's her zen, and I know a lot of people that garden, but she wanted a garden this morning, and we got into just sitting and watching a bit of TV and kind of losing the track of that man-made thing called time. And then she turns to me and she says, maybe I don't really want to go out now. Maybe I'll go this evening. What time do you reckon? And I'm like, well, 6:30, 7, 6, whatever, somewhere around there. But and then I thought, hang on a minute. So I said to her, hang on, Are you going to do it tonight? Because we get into those areas, guys, where we have the intention, but we won't follow through. And it could be any number of things. Procrastination is the biggest one. And procrastination can be built around the different things. Lot around fear, procrastination. But I just kind of checked on it, because I've done that myself. Had the intent and then kind of don't know, it don't happen, or I don't go there, and then I go, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll get it done tomorrow. And then I end up drifting off So it's something to be aware of, guys, because why are we avoiding it, or why are we forgetting? Well, I don't think we actually forget. I think we know, really, because we've told the subconscious mind that we want to do it. But don't get into telling us, because when you tell the subconscious mind and you have an intent and you say, this is where I want to go, this is where I'm going, and then you keep backing up from that by maybe using excuses, even excuses of other people, yeah? I mean, you can use an excuse of someone else. If you had an intent of doing something and you're that people pleaser, and somebody calls and you go, oh, okay, and then you end up going and helping them with something and you didn't get done what you wanted, then you start resenting that person. But it's down to you at the end of the day. It's down to you saying, no, I want to get this done. And honestly, I really encourage people to do that, because you end up basically telling yourself that I'm second best, I'm not good enough, I'm not concentrating on myself, rejecting yourself, rejecting the pleasure of doing it. You're rejecting the worth and the benefit of that afterwards, and the purpose of it. So, you're rejecting all that. Now you haven't got that. So now you're going to go into resentment. And, if you feel you're okay, just kind of putting it aside for a couple of hours or whatever and going and helping this person, but set a time. I can help from here to here. And then when you come back, make sure you get back onto the whatever it is that you had the intent to do for yourself. But we have a tendency to do that, guys, and we kind of steer. I've done it many, many times. I'll do that tomorrow, and I get excited about it. I'll do that tomorrow, and then for some reason, I don't know, I get into this headspace. And I've only just now started to be, especially after today, after hearing my wife, and I'm thinking, because I've seen my wife do this before, and I've seen people do this before, and the after effect is a lot worse than just getting yourself moving forward and doing it, pushing the ball. Because the after effect of it is, you're sending messages and reinforcing doing that again. So you got pleasure out of it. You didn't want to, you wanted to do it, but at that moment it became I've got to do that for some reason. And then all you're doing is you're rewarding that. So, it's much better you going forward and actually doing whatever it is that you want to do on so many different levels. Because, and then you're not, you're not feeling bad about the other person or resenting that other person. You're feeling much more better. You feel more purpose, more worth. Accomplishment comes out of that. You feel on a kind of high after doing something, after you've had, after you've intended doing it and then getting it done. And it could be small. It doesn't have to be anything big. It's like reading a book. You've got an intent to read today, yeah. But what I do is I go, I'll read a chapter. But it's better to say I'll read a page, because now the mind doesn't look at the overwhelm, the large piece. You want to break those large pieces down into the smaller pieces. And as you progress on breaking those smaller pieces, that works the same way too. It starts encouraging that behavior. It starts encouraging your mind to go into that direction. And it's better to go that way, guys, and grow, than go the other way and just start beating yourself up and then start going into depression. And then why didn't I get that done? Ask that right at the beginning. Ask that when you've got the mindset of, I really wanted to do that, but I'm not really feeling it now. When I said I was going to do it, why? Ask the reasons why. And yes, of course there's good reasons for sometimes, there's good reasons for it. But if you really think about how many times there's been like really good reasons, and what I mean by good reasons is like emergency things, yeah? Is someone hurt? If you've got to get somewhere quick? I mean, yeah, of course, there are good reasons. But, there comes a time when if you don't look at self and start putting yourself first going forward, it's going to make it way more difficult down the road. If you put yourself forward first and do that on a regular basis, you're going to feel more present and happy doing the others, like helping somebody else, because you're looking after self. And when you look after self, you bring up that confidence, you bring up that self-worth. And if you bring up that self-worth and that confidence, that takes wherever you want to go from there, that takes you out forward to those areas. So when it comes to helping somebody else out, you're going to be fully on board. You're taking care of self. But when you keep putting yourself second, you're not putting yourself there in front. You're just neglecting yourself. So just remember this, guys, when you're like, I don't really want to do that now. Why? It's better to step forward and just do a little bit. Don't look at the whole. Don't look at the, maybe my wife's looking at doing that because she was talking about planting things and weeding, and just go do one thing and spend time present with that one thing. See, that's the other area I think people go wrong, is they don't become present because they've got the other on their mind. If you become present with one, if you set the intent to do that, just one thing, as small as it may be, doesn't matter how small it is, and become completely present with what you're doing, you're setting a great intent within your mind. That's nothing but fuel. That's why I call this mind nutrition. You're dropping nutrition for your mind. So just think, guys. Yeah? Just think. Put yourself first. Go forward and do what you want to do. So that when later on, because, if my wife doesn't do the gardening later, she's going to start feeling bad about it later on in the evening when she's sitting there watching TV. Which, sitting there watching TV is good, but don't make a habit of it. Yeah? I mean, I do it in the evening and I'll do it, I watch TV during the day as well, especially around the weekend. But I try and work on there's that word try again. I should say I choose to work on more of the entertainment side of it where I'm getting knowledge. So if I'm watching, I go on YouTube mainly. So if I hit YouTube and I start bringing up interviews and things like, or music, I'm always playing music and looking for new music. It's a thing of mine. It's one of my tools and I enjoy doing it. Finding different bands, and I've been into DJs lately. But that's my thing to do. I enjoy that. So I use, yes, I use the TV for that. But if you're getting into watching a bunch of bullshit, yeah, and you're feeding your brain with that bullshit, and you're riveted to the chair with that, where are you going with that, guys? Where are you going with that? Have you progressed? Have you gained anything? Yeah? So think. Put yourself forward. Stay the course, guys. I'm going to enjoy my tea. Right here. Namaste.